Welcome to Reservations for One. I am Bills. Back with this week's episode, let's start with the fog, the smoke that was in New York. The smoke in New York was something crazy. Like I never experienced nothing like that. Well, I did when in 9/11, but I was so young during 9/11, I could barely remember it. But I can remember people saying the air quality was dangerous, and that was something crazy. Like, definitely had me in my conspiracy theorist bag going crazy over the weekend. But I was prepared. I went to the grocery store, bought a bunch of water, bought a bunch of tuna. I started picking out which one of my neighbors that who I would get rid of first if I had to kick in their house and take all their groceries and stuff. and but it was like a little false alarm, but that was Gucci. A false alarm is still an alarm, though. You know what I say? A false alarm is still an alarm. But besides that, I've been having wicked dreams lately. I don't know what's been going on, if something is in retrograde, if something is in, what's going on. But I've been having a lot of wicked dreams lately. And not even just wicked, just vivid dreams. Like dreams that's been feeling so real. Like sometimes I wake up and be like, what the fuck? That was a dream? Like I can't believe that was like a dream. I thought it felt so real. And I realized a lot of good stuff came from dreams. I know like the sewing machine came to the guy who made it in his dream. The person who wrote "Hit Me Baby One More Time" came to them in a dream. I know a Beatles song came to them in a dream. What else came? A lot of Einstein stuff came to him in a dream, and Twilight came to the author in a dream. So I've been trying to harness that power because I feel like that's like an energy or a gift. I'm not looking at it as a bad thing anymore. So now when I have a dream, regardless of what it is, what happened, as soon as I get up, I write down or make a voice note of much of it as I can remember, and then try to make sense of it for them. Who knows? It may be good content. It may be a song. It may be like a scene in my life, or maybe from an alternative reality. And it's trying to give me game. Like, yo, look, this is what's happening in the alternative reality, and it's showing it to me now, so I could do something with it and make something out of it. So I'm not taking like these dreams that I'm having for granted. So definitely gonna try to harness that. What else I've seen this week? What have I seen this week? I've seen Al Pacino is having a baby. First Robert De Niro, now Al Pacino. It's like, yo, they've been in constant battles since the 70s, 60s, 70s, about going out, and they both having the babies in their 80s. But I don't know, it's something a little bit fishy about them having a baby to me, because it's like, rich people want to live forever, and maybe they, maybe stealing the blood is not enough. Maybe they're gonna transfer their consciousnesses to their babies. So if they a 2-year old is just a great act at two, knowing the Pythagorean theory and stuff like that, we know that's exactly what happened. Oh, and shout out to Baby Gronk, man. I seen Baby Gronk going viral, and I feel like that's something that has been missing in society. Parents forcing their kids to chase their dreams. Like, that's been missing in society. Society has shamed parents for a lot of stuff over the past years, and I want to say that's not a bad thing. Like, kids don't know any better. Like, you gotta force your kid to be great. They don't know that they should be great, or they should be chasing something, or they should take this that serious. They're kids. And if you don't force your kids to learn stuff and force your dreams on them, how are you a good parent? I wish my parents would have forced a lot of more stuff on me. Like my mom kind of did with acting, like she had me in acting, but I did hate it. But as I got older, I was like, God damn, I wish somebody would have pushed me to go harder at it. I'd have stayed in it. Because I stopped acting when I was like 13, when I got to high school, 13, 14, because I hated it, and it was like starting to become my choice. I was like, nah, I'm not going to no more interviews. And to this day, I still regret getting out of it, because I was in maybe like 50 movies in the background, had like 10 speaking roles, and I was like, imagine if I'd have never stopped. So you should have forced me, Ma. And my pops too. My pops I did everything my pops did, from doing drugs to playing basketball to being misogynist, and he never taught me none of it. You feel me? You know how much better I would have been at each of those things if my pops said, look, this is how you do these things. Because I'm going to get those traits from you. You my pop. So I'm most likely going to do the same stuff you do, be interested in the same stuff you into. So you should at least prepare me for it. You got 4 baby moms. So you could at least say, look, this is how you do misogyny the right way. I'm joking. But yeah, I do think it is important that kids I won't even say force dreams, but just give kids a push, or extra push, because we kids don't know nothing. And if your kids don't learn from you, who kids learn from? Other kids. Most of the stuff I did learn, I learned from other kids. So especially most of the bad stuff from my cousins, or kids on my block who didn't have the same upbringing. So I picked up a lot of bad habits from them. And I like my cousin is a year older than me. He taught me how to play basketball. We in like sixth grade. He like, you don't know how to play basketball. I'm like, nah, nobody ever taught me. And he taught me how to play basketball. Shout out Munch, free Munch. So it's like definitely need to force some more dreams on your kids. Once I seen this week. Oh, shout out to Zion Williamson. My son Zion was wilding, yo. But I will say this: he sounds like that was the most polite way I've ever heard anybody ask for a threesome. He basically said, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you know any thick white women that would like to join us, please?" Like, my son Zion out here wilding. What else happened this weekend? Oh, I tried to watch La La Land. La La Land was terrible. One, it was a musical. It was like and it was about, and then when I first started, it was a white man talking about he wanted to save jazz music. I was like, oh, here we go. Like immediately I just cut it off. Like it's like one of those movies that you got to be really high on drugs, or really racist to enjoy, because it's like, what the fuck is this, a musical in 2020? I see why they didn't win an Oscar. I see why when the guy went up there, he was like, I think Moonlight probably didn't win. I ain't seen Moonlight either. I'm sure they won, and the guy who made La La Land was like, nah, come on, this movie was terrible. I just did, this was a cash grab. Don't give me this Oscar. And he probably gave it to Moonlight, because if you even watch the whole Oscar thing when they won it, he was like, no, they won, not me, because he knew. So shout out to that guy for knowing he just made a cash grab, but that was terrible. I did see Benjamin Button. Oh man, Benjamin Button was, I gave it 10 tears. Benjamin Buttons was one of the best movies that I've seen. I can't believe I never watched it before. It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's going up there with Interstellar and The Fifth Element as in my favorite movies. It's definitely in my top 10 movies all time now, and like my top 5 crying movies that make me cry. Benjamin Buttons is going there, because at first I was a little shaky about it, because it was kind of starting off a little bit like he was an old man, young. Then he was like looking a little perverted because he was hollering at the young girl. Then he was got a little bit younger or older, and he was sleeping with old ass ladies, tricking them, thinking that they his age. I'm like, you fucking pervert, lying. But then as he started getting older, and his body started getting younger, him and the girl started meeting like closer to age, and it was just like he was trying a couple times. He went to New York to see her when she was dancing, but she was already dating somebody, because my son's swag was still a little bit too old for her. And then he had to get his swag right. He went to I think Europe when she got hurt, to try to be with her and save her. Swag still wasn't right. She still was like, nah, get out of here. And then she finally came back to him, and they just started living the perfect life. That's why if it was up to me, I would rename that movie called Perfect in the Middle, because they was literally perfect when they met in the middle, like when they was around the same age. They had the best love, and then what happened? Well, like what most ruined most relationships, they had a baby. So but then Benjamin Button started thinking like, damn, how I'm gonna be a father to this kid? Like I'm gonna be growing younger as this kid grow older. So it's like, it's not fair to the kid. And he did what any real man would do in a situation. If you know that you're not gonna be a good father, you just give your baby mom some money and let her go find somebody else who's gonna be a good dad to your kid. So Benjamin Button's definitely a real one for that. And then, he went away for mad years, came back when she was getting a little bit older. She had a husband, and he came to see his daughter. And he was like, nah, I got to hit this one more time. You feel me? So I do respect that, because, we all been there. I definitely hit up a couple of my exes like, oh, no, I know you married, but please. But nah, I would never do that. I'm fucking around. But that Benjamin Buttons was definitely a great movie, and I really enjoyed it. Let's get into some Act Sad Pits. Bills, congratulations on 10 years into your brand. Thank you. What are some of the hardest hurdles that you had to go through midway through your journey? That's actually a great question, because people always ask me like, oh, what was the toughest about the beginning, and how did you get it? Like, what was hard trying to get it started? And the middle is definitely tougher than the beginning, because once you got something going, maintaining it is actually harder than to even get it going, because you got to keep it afloat, keep it steady. And I go, so some of the toughest things that I had to go through then is like basically knowing when I'm wrong. Like, sometimes if you get far in life, you think like, oh, I make all of this, the decisions I made got me here, so I know what I'm doing. But society changes, business changes. Like, you gotta know when to adapt, when to learn more, when to learn to like, all right, well, this is not popping no more. Like, um, the ad agencies. You got to start using ad agencies now. You got to start using influencers. This social media not popping, because I started on Twitter, and I just was selling shirts to basically people on Twitter, and I thought that I was going to do that forever, and that slowed down. I started getting a little bit discouraged, but then I had to learn a little bit more about business. Like, business, you just definitely learn about business, because learning about business will help you with anything, because it's like basically trends. Or yeah, I was just like basically trends in business, like whatever's working in business for everybody else. You gotta pay attention to other people. Whatever's working, you don't want to mimic nobody else. Like, not they map, because you always got to keep your plan. But you just still want to be able to see how society's going, because literally business change like this. Like, what works, one method that works now in 2-3 months will completely be obsolete. So especially how fast it's going. So knowing when to adapt, knowing when to get out my own head, and knowing when to take somebody in, because I had to get a partner, because I got it pretty far on my own. And then like after like 5-6 years, I started to burn out, and my son Bash came through. He was helping me out with stuff before we ever even partners. He just helped me out, helped me. He was helping me with a lot of the technology part, because I wasn't big into technology at the point. I was just more so a salesman, and he started getting me hip to that. And I was like, yo, man, we might as well start doing it together. So it's definitely just got to stay afloat. You just got to stay current, stay current in business, because the world moves so much fast nowadays. I swear, everything you do now will be obsolete in a year. You just got to relearn everything. So that's it. Just knowing when to keep changing. Dear Sad Pit, are there any minor things you would like to change about the world? uh, Minor thing I would like to change about the world. Yeah, minor. Uh, I would definitely, I would definitely make the L in salmon be be not silent anymore, because it makes no sense. Why is it even there if it's going to be silent? English is one of the dumbest languages. Like they like the way they prepare you for it. They always tell you like, oh, sound the word out. That's why I'm not good with spelling. Anybody that followed me on Twitter, like a lot of people used to think I was trolling and stuff like that. But when the BlackBerry was out, it wasn't as much help. Like even now, I still struggle, but the iPhone helped you out a lot with spell check and stuff like that. But I am not good with spelling. Spelling is not one of my strong points at all. I'm known for being a terrible speller. Like over the past years, it got a lot better because of the iPhone. But the way I learned how to spell, or what it was taught how to spell, was definitely not good. Because when I sound the word out, I type exactly, try to spell it exactly how I think it sounds. And most of the time, that's not the case. That's not even. I don't even be getting close. Because sometimes I don't even get close enough for spell check. And they be like, nigga, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what you were trying to do here. And I would try to Google it, or I'll Google the definition of it. So I would definitely change a lot of words to make them exactly how they sound. I'm trying to think. Can I give another example? Maybe next week I'll find some more examples now that I think about it. But yes, but one for example is just salmon. And plus, salmon sound better than salmon. Salmon, you feel me? So that's definitely one thing, a minor thing I would change. But all right, this has been a quick episode of Reservations for One. Oh, I want to shout out everybody who came to the 1 year anniversary party at the store. We just had an anniversary party here at the Sadderday store. Good turnout. Shout out to everybody who came through, supported, came, had some shots with us, had some food. Shout out to Moe's General. We had pizza from Moe's. If you ever in Williamsburg, you can stop over there, check out their pizza. It's a dope pizza bar spot. And yeah, shout out to everybody coming, man. Please stay on the lookout for new stuff that we got coming, new content we got dropping, new merch coming, new everything, man. New year, new me, new day, new me, new week, new me, new hour, new me, new second, new me. You feel me? Just keep coming with the new. But this been Reservation for One with Bills. You can follow me at Bbillions on Twitter, Sad Pit on Instagram. Follow Sadderday on Twitter and Instagram. Sadderday. Visit Sadderday.com to go check out some of the merch. And I am out.